coach.
Would you like to have seen what Devin could have done for more than 22 minutes the way he was shooting the ball?
You know what, Rick, he's just really playing well. I mean, I'm just really proud of him. I'm moving him around, and he's got our break on. If our offense starts to get bogged down, he makes a play. Playing with a lot of confidence right now. But I wasn't gonna keep him out there today.
Josh dinged up.
Yeah, a little bit dinged up. Should be able to play Saturday, I would think.
Could he have played tonight?
No. I thought yesterday that he would have been able. He could. It was not clear.
You look at Devin after the Iowa State game. He said, had a few coaches tell him to be a little more aggressive. Is that what you told him to do as well?
I have never had a direct conversation with him in regard to anything other than I want him to be the player that he's capable of being. He has always been aggressive since the minute he got here. I go back to he averaged 28.5 in high school. He had the green light when he was a freshman. He had the green light last year. He's got the green light this year. There have been times, Scott, where I said, why didn't you shoot that particular shot? He was open because he's got such a great mid-range game, but he's not a guy that really hunts shots. He's a very unselfish player. And I don't ever want him to get away from that, but I do want him to, be the guy. And I think that's kind of what you're referring to. And so, I treat him with that level of respect. I go to him in key situations. I set him up. I put stuff in for him. He knows I want to go to him. He knows I have confidence in him. I occasionally, like I said, I'll say, hey, why don't you shoot that one? I'd shoot that one if he turns one down. But he's not a guy that is just going to go out there and just be a volume shooter. He's not that kind of. He's a complete player. That's what I love about him.
What was Senny earlier in the season? You thought maybe he was uncomfortable, but he really looked comfortable out there.
Been like that last 3 games. Been like that in practice recently. Playing with great energy. That play he made in the second half when he ran the guy down and blocked the shot. That's as good a play as I've seen in a long time. Not a lot of guys can do that.
Is the game slowing down for him a little bit more now?
Yeah, he's that's probably a good way to put it, right? He's seeing it. He's in the right place more often than he was. And then it used to be if he wasn't in the right place, he would get down on himself, even though we would tell him, don't get down on yourself. You're fine. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to be in the wrong place. But his footwork and his spacing and his understanding of where to be, whether we're in motion or whether we're on sets, defensively, if we're pressing or not pressing, he just seems to be in the right place more often. And what ends up happening is he makes plays instead of mistakes, and then his confidence grows, and that's what you want.
How valuable is Mike Gazelle? Granted a freshman, but Anthony got to a bit of a slow start. You put him at point, and you look at he has 8 assists, 1 turnover. Anthony comes and gets 6 and 3, but Mike just seems to be a steady influence with the ball in his hands.
He is, and I want to keep it that way. I like the fact that we move him back and forth. I do think playing him at the 2 does make him more aggressive offensively. He's not as aggressive at the 1 as I would like him to be. But I appreciate the fact that he wants to set people up and get us into our stuff. So I like that mixture for him. I think it works for him and it works for us.
You said yesterday how you were hoping that your team would be able to emulate what Missouri was able to do against this team the other night. Would you say that that's what you were able to do in terms of being able to win this game like you did?
Well, I think in terms of our defensive pressure and our mixture of pressing and our running game, we were able to emulate what Missouri did, yeah. And that's impressive because I expected them to come out, and they came out pretty good early. They're quick. They typically shoot the ball a little better than they shot tonight, so I think we had something to do with that, obviously. But I think a guy like Toombs, I think, is a better player than 3 for 13. I've been impressed with him on film. We got after him pretty good, though.
Okay.
Thank you.